Welcome to a new series I'm starting on my channel, following the format Why X is the Best Why. Today it's time to take a look at why the Ocado Just For You ad is the best on TV. Before we begin, a small bit of background. Ocado, founded in April 2000, is an online supermarket and food delivery company that mainly sells M&S products due to their joint partnership, but also their own Ocado brand of items, along with a host of other well-known favourites. It's not just food that they sell though. Flowers, magazines, toys and home items can also be ordered too. Ocado claim that they are able to deliver to 75% of UK households, and the company ships over 381,000 orders per week. With 8 million visits to its site ocado.com in January 2023, we are left wondering why all of these customers have been attracted towards the company. Well, I think that this is largely due to Ocado's advertising campaign, which is able to bring a smile to your face no matter how many times you happen to see it. In this first episode of the new series, I'm going to break down the ad into three chunks: the video/graphics, the lyrics, and the music, in the hope that I can explain to you why I think it works so well from a viewing perspective. Without further ado, let's roll the ad.
Start your day with breakfast in bed, or are you up and at 'em with the Danish instead? Want focaccia, carmen, atcha, or just white sliced bread? There's an Ocado just for you. Your Friday needs the freshest fish, Seabream and salmon if you catch my drift. Want a classic pie with an unusual twist? There's an Ocado just for you. Carbonara in a Tuscan style. Love penne done al dente, but you're versatile. I like things kept in keeping with your veggie lifestyle. There's an Ocado just for you. Just for you. Just for you. Want a whole frozen section behind a skidoo? There's an Ocado
with more choice than any other supermarket.
There's an Ocado just for you.
First of all, I want to discuss the graphics and video aspects of the adverts itself, which are incredibly important to make the video attractive to viewers. It needs to have a standout feature so that customers remember the ad hours, days, or even weeks into the future. The most apparent thing to me when watching this advert was that the same person is delivering the produce throughout the entire video. This suggests to me at least that Ocado and all of its employees are very dedicated to serving their customers, and the variety of locations that the man visits shows that the consumers are held in high regard. The delivery driver is trekking from the countryside right into the heart of the city just to get food to people. In addition, the advert is presented over the course of what I presume to be a full working day for the delivery driver, rather than just being set in ideal sunny conditions. It goes from the morning to the evening, reinforcing the idea that Ocado is committed to and cares for its customers. Leading on from the theme of caring in this ad, something I really enjoyed seeing was the feeling of community between the driver and the people he was delivering to. There are a wide range of people featured: men, women, children, old folk, young folk, etc., and all of them were smiling and greeting the driver as he came round with their orders, which shows us as viewers that Ocado wants to and is capable of delivering and catering for anyone's needs. It also presents the company as being friendly and something that you can put your trust into, as the driver in this advert has lots of interactions with his customers, and this really puts a personalised theme into the mix, almost as if you're not dealing with a mass order all-for-profit company, but rather a local, reliable and friendly face, as if you were popping down to the high street butchers or the greengrocers in town. We later see that children at a particular delivery location are even waving the driver off after he leaves, suggesting that people have actually built up good relationships with Ocado drivers, solidifying that friendly face idea we just discussed, and showing his commitment to these people since they clearly recognise him. Ocado also seems to be committed to demonstrating how much of a prepared, experienced and well-stocked delivery company they are when the delivery driver delivers different ranges of products. Every time he does this, he's in a purpose-built, contextual vehicle to represent this. For example, the fishing trawler when he's delivering the
Seabream and salmon,
and the tractor when he's delivering for your
veggie lifestyle.
Again, this reinforces the idea that they have products for everyone, no matter how obscure. Not only does the fact that Ocado can supply you with just about any item of food you can think of make the advert extremely memorable, I found that the comedic style contributed towards this also. The bakery item shooting out of the back of the van, the fishing trawler just floating right up to someone's house, the ice cream van with the extendo legs, and not to mention the
whole frozen section behind a skidoo.
In my opinion, Ocado have really shown to us as an audience that they are miles apart from other companies, and especially their adverts, because they're having fun. They're making us smile. Albeit other companies do make some pretty pleasing adverts, but when has a company ever blasted a in the middle of their ad? To conclude the graphics analysis, I think it's also important that I highlight an often underappreciated or overlooked thing in video, and this is the transitions between scenes. Ocado have made them interesting in their ad, however I do think that one of them wasn't executed so well or could have been much improved. For the most part, the transitions are smooth, they make sense, and they add a pacey feel to the ad. The use of the post box to transform the delivery van into the baker's van was very pleasing to see, and quite creative in my opinion. It ensures that there isn't a random unexpected jump to a baker's van from the delivery van, and sets up the audience's expectations that the driver will be changing vehicles throughout the advert, hence why vehicle change transitions are omitted further on in the ad. I'm always pleased in TV and films when the scene changes are cleverly thought out and when they take a turn off from the usual, and Ocado have certainly given us a taste of this here. I'm pleased to see that Ocado have used various instances of this in their advert. Examples of this appear throughout the ad, such as the throttle control in the fishing trawler and the plunger for the extendo legs in the ice cream van, but there are more to add something a bit different here, rather than being used to change scenes. The one that I found the most interesting was the change to a shot of a driver pulling a lever in the tractor, and that was very nice to see, and again, as we mentioned earlier, it allowed for a sudden change in vehicle and location, while still making sense to an audience. Firstly, I think the repetition of the "just for you" catchphrase is a great way to drill one of Ocado's key concepts into anyone who has seen the ad, and that is personalisation. This line is repeated a total of 7 times throughout the ad, so I'd be astonished if a single person managed to forget it. It doesn't at all become annoying, even if you've watched it about 156 times like I have had to come up with the talking points for this video. My point being, it's memorable, it sticks, it's catchy, and it's an effective way to ensure that Ocado gets that key message across to a viewer. Anyone watching this advert has different styles of cooking, different taste preferences, favourite cuisines, and a whole host of other things that need to be catered for when shopping for food. By using the word "you," Ocado is simultaneously and deliberately being both vague and extremely specific, because, crucially, the viewer comes up with their own, and thus perfect, ideas about what should be for them, not the company. Ocado have cleverly found another way of prompting thought in their customers' minds, and this is through the choice to phrase the lyrics as questions. They're not telling you they can cater for people to have, for example,
Breakfast in bed.
it's asking you if you do this. If you do that, that's great. Ocado have clearly shown that they can cater for you. If the answer, however, is no, then this isn't an issue. You as a viewer immediately think of how you take breakfast yourself, and this is what Ocado wants you to do. You're not, if we ignore the face value aspect, being told what you can order, you are thinking yourself about what you could order. Similar to the "just for you" catchphrase, a viewer can come up with, for the sake of argument, infinitely more ideas than the advert could, and even if Ocado were given many times longer than the 1 minute duration of their ad, and we once again come back around to the same idea, that this shows that there are a vast range of products and that people can find anything they need in their limitless selection. We will now take a look at some specific lyrics from the advert itself, and this will allow me to explain some more why this advert is such a brilliant thing. The advert opens with,
You start your day with breakfast in bed, or are you up and at 'em with the Danish instead?
Here, I think it's nice that Ocado have gone with the almost polar opposites of what people do for their breakfast. Lazy, cosy and snuggled up in bed, or on the go with a product from abroad. Here, and in the next lines with,
One focaccia coming at you.
they've once again demonstrated their experience and their wide range of products. How many of you would reply with focaccia if I asked you to name a type of bread? I'd hazard a guess at none. A quick mention here that coming at you implies that Ocado is a fast and efficient service. Now, if something else was coming at you, say for instance, an anvil, then that would be a completely different story. Further on, we have the lines,
Your Friday needs the freshest fish, Seabream and salmon if you catch my drift.
the repeated F's from Friday, freshest and fish roll off the tongue nicely, and as some form of Fish Friday, not necessarily Seabream or salmon, is what I'd hazard a guess had been a fairly common dish in the UK. I mentioned here earlier the comedic value Ocado have added to their advert, and it comes up here again with "catch my drift," which I think is a brilliant play on words for this ad. Again, Ocado have yet again demonstrated their capabilities and wide range of stock, shown in the lyrics here.
Do you cook carbonara in a Tuscan style?
Similar to the focaccia, how many of you would name the pasta style as being Tuscan? You wouldn't have, would you? Niche items can be incredibly difficult to get hold of in your regular supermarkets, never mind an online one, so the demonstration of those rare items here is a wonderful idea. Now, my favourite bit of the advert, and yes, we are still on the lyrics section here, this part is sung, not done by instruments. The glissando, oh, the glissando. The glissando, the slide, the transition up into this line is absolutely spectacular. Here we go.
Just for you. Just for you.
I'll play that again.
Just for you. Just for you.
And I'll play that again, but this time I'll isolate the vocals so you can just hear the voices.
Just for you. Just for you.
I don't even think I can explain to you why that makes me feel so happy and warm inside, but the slide of notes up to the lyrics, the sense of community and the emotion in the voices in this line is incredible. At the end of the advert, we have the lyrics.
Want a whole frozen section behind skidoo.
This, as mentioned before, is a playful end to the advert. The idea itself is preposterous, but the meaning is still there. Ocado again is demonstrating the range of products they can offer you. Throughout the song, various instances of rhyme are used to what I think is a great effect. A bouncy, joyous and pleasant tune, but one that still conveys important meaning to the audience, or people like me who are mad enough to analyse TV adverts. I'm not going to pick out specific examples because you've heard the ad enough times in this video to recognise these yourselves, and there really isn't that much to say about them. However, it does bring the sections of the advert, like when they are talking about breakfast at the beginning, to a close nicely, and makes the song extremely memorable. The music in the Ocado ad is relatively simple, and most of the detail in the surrounding track is introduced through the voices, lyrics, and sound effects. However, I'll now isolate the backing track from the vocals and play this for you so you can hear the music by itself. As you can hear, at the start of the advert, the tune is extremely simple and uncomplicated, easy to tap your foot to beat, and just the strum of a guitar is all we really get for the melody. Moving towards the middle, we get the calls of seagulls, the boat horn, and some environmental sound effects to help give some more depth to the tune. If I'm being completely honest, just listening to the backing track by itself, it feels like the sound effects are way overdone. However, when the entire advert comes together as one, I do not have a problem with this. In the latter half of the ad, we get a change of instruments, a slightly more electric guitar, and another instrument adding some chords over the top as the complexity and detail of the music begins to build. The Ocado Just For You jingle here is now much more obvious and eventually transitions to the full version right in the closing sections of the advert. The soundtrack doesn't blow me away, but what I do like is the section at around the 3/4 mark of the song. A third background instrument comes in, adding a low chord, a high chord, back to a low chord, then up to the high chord, then the high chord is repeated. I'm not sure if it's a brass instrument, piano, or some other digital effect that's been laid over the top, but I'll now roll that section and hopefully you can just hear what I mean. Just one more time to give you a chance to detect what I'm on about. If you can, that is. After this section, the somewhat electric guitar and the background strumming comes back again before the music dips to allow the voiceover. The music raises level again, and that familiar Ocado jingle rounds off the ad with a double honk from the van. Nothing spectacular, and the music itself is absolutely not something to write home about, but when this, the lyrics, and the graphics come together as one whole unit, it is, without a doubt, one of the greatest adverts on TV. So, that concludes my analysis stroke review of the Ocado Just For You advert. I hope you found this interesting, and the analysis, deep dive, the ability to share my opinions with you, and the making of this video has been very fun to do. Now, I will just say, some of my analysis points and emotions during this video may have been exaggerated. However, this was all in good faith in order to get my point across to you, the audience, more clearly and more effectively. At some point in the future, I will be analysing another TV ad, but this one being a bit more of a serious matter. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon in a video that is
just for you.
bye for now.